Once we have taken the photos we plan on stitching together, we'll then need to locate them in the gallery. You can see here in the first row that I have 6 pictures that look like they go together. What I need to do is I need to select all 6 photos. There are a couple of different ways to select multiple photos at one time, but I'm only going to teach you 2 ways today. First, I can click on the first picture and you'll see that it's backlighted in blue. If I hover my mouse on top of the second photo, you'll see that there's a small checkmark box in the upper left-hand corner of the photo. As long as I click inside that checkmark box, I will keep the previous photo selected as well as select this photo. Personally, I find it a bit tricky to always click inside those checkmark boxes, so what I like to do instead is I like to hold down the Control key on my keyboard. That's in the bottom left-hand corner of your keyboard. It says CTRL, and that stands for Control. I'm going to hold down the Control key, and maintaining the Control key down, I can click anywhere on top of the third photo, anywhere on top of the fourth, the fifth, as well as the sixth photo. Now you'll notice that all 6 photos have been selected. Once I have all 6 photos selected, I then need to click on the Create tab. The Create tab is found up here towards the top, towards the upper left-hand corner. I'm going to click one time on Create, and that's going to open a new menu with these tools. The tool I'm going to be using is the Panorama tool, so I'll click one time on Panorama over here on the left-hand side of the screen. And now it's going to stitch these photos together. Depending on how many photos you've chosen to stitch together, the computer is going to take longer or shorter amount of time. Once the computer is done, I'm then going to need to click Save. So down here in the bottom right hand corner of this window, I'll simply click on Save. And now you'll see that the computer has stitched our photos together. You're always going to see these black areas around the edge of a panoramic photo. That's due to the change in perspective while you rotate your shoulders while taking a panoramic photo. The more level you hold your camera, the less black areas you'll see, but no matter what, you're going to see these black areas around the edge of a panoramic photo. Fortunately, we can use the crop tool to easily crop out those black edges. So I'm going to click on the word crop, and then you're going to see that we have this frame here. Remember, anything that is inside the frame is the portion of the photo that will be kept, and anything that is outside of the frame is the portion of the photo that will be discarded. First, I'm going to click on the word crop, and then I'm going to click on the word proportion. I want to make sure that the frame I've chosen is custom. This is going to allow me to customize the size of the frame. In order to change the size of the frame, remember we can hover our mouse directly on top of one of these boxes in one of the 4 corners, or when we have chosen custom, we also have boxes on the sides as well as on the top and the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hover my mouse directly on top of a box, and I'll now see 2 arrows pointing diagonally. When I see the 2 arrows pointing diagonally, I can hold down the left click and I can drag this frame to make it larger or smaller. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to get all the way up to this edge on the side and this edge at the top, and then I'm going to go to the opposite corner, hover my mouse on top of that box so that I see 2 arrows pointing diagonally, and I'm going to hold down the left click and I'm going to drag it over as well and down a little as well so I can keep as much of the panoramic photo as possible. Finally, when I'm ready to apply this, I'll go and click on the word crop one time, then I'll click on apply crop, and I have now discarded those black edges. Remember, in order to automatically save these changes, I can simply click on close file and the changes will automatically be saved for me.